Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. On today's show, we're talking about the cost of adding protection to a property at the beginning versus doing a retrofit. On today's show, we're talking about radon, but there are a number of examples of things that cost far less to build into the design of a new project compared with adding them after the fact. Radon is a colorless, odorless, radioactive gas that exists in the ground, almost everywhere. It poses a health risk to humans because in today's highly insulated homes, you can get a buildup of radon gas inside the home over time. Long-term exposure to radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer after smoking, and the leading cause of lung cancer for people who have never smoked a day in their life. If you've heard of someone getting lung cancer who never smoked in their life, you might be wondering how it happened. It could be that radon's the culprit. As radon breaks down, it forms a radioactive particle that can get lodged in the lung tissue as you breathe. The radon particles then release energy that can damage the lung cells. And when the lung cells are damaged, they have the potential to mutate and cause cancer. Not everyone exposed to radon will develop lung cancer, and the time between exposure and the onset of the disease can take many years. Radon occurs naturally. It forms when uranium, thorium, radium, and other radioactive metals that are present in the earth break down. They're in the rock, the soil, and the groundwater. People can be exposed to radon primarily from breathing radon in air that comes through cracks and gaps in the building foundation. Because radon comes naturally from the earth, people are always exposed to it. Earlier this year, the Center for Disease Control published a paper in which they note that radon is so pervasive, the CDC recommends that all houses get tested for it. That's right, they recommend that every single house in the nation gets tested. Radon gets into the indoor air primarily through pores and cracks in the foundation, under homes and under buildings. Usually, the air pressure in homes and buildings is lower than the pressure outside in the soil around the foundation. That pressure difference creates suction into the building. Radon comes into the house through the cracks in the foundation due to that suction. In fact, there's quite a few paths. It can be cracks in the floors and walls, cracks in the joints, gaps in suspended floors, gaps around service pipes, cavities inside the walls, and even through the water supply pipe. The most common and effective method for reducing the risk of radon poisoning is the installation of an active soil depressurization system. This method involves installing a pipe through the foundation floor and attaching a fan that runs continuously to draw the radon gas from below the home and release it to the outdoors where it's quickly diluted. This system also reverses the air pressure difference between the house and the soil, reducing the amount of radon that's drawn into the home through the foundation. One, or sometimes multiple suction points are inserted through the floor slab into the crushed rock or soil underneath to effectively reduce the radon level in the home. I recently saw a quote for a retrofit of such a system in a single-family home for over $4,600. We're talking about the installation of a PVC pipe through the foundation slab with an active blower-type fan that runs continuously. The fan costs about $250 to buy, and it's got a 5-year warranty. We're talking about 16 feet of PVC pipe, which costs about $1 a foot. The installation of the entire system during the time of construction is almost zero. It's no more difficult than burying the pipe before you pour the concrete. The entire system would take no more than a few minutes to install during the construction of the home. Like many things, a little forethought can create an effective solution for very low cost. The building code recommends that you have at least 4 inches of crushed rock underneath the foundation slab, and this is pretty normal practice in most places, nothing special. That crushed rock creates enough airspace for air to flow across the entire span of the foundation slab. The problem arises when the house creates the negative pressure. That's when radon enters the building. The simple installation of a polyethylene film that's at least 6 mils or 6/1000ths of an inch in thickness, taped at the seams under the foundation slab, can be an additional effective gas barrier. Then the installation of a roughed-in vent pipe from the center of the crushed rock air cavity allows for the future installation of an active vent fan if it's needed. If a property fails a radon test in most areas, the real estate board requires that the realtor must disclose the result to a prospective buyer, and the impact of a radon problem on resale value and the marketability of the property should be clear. The simple addition of these inexpensive remediations before you know you even have a problem can be a cheap insurance policy for maintaining the future value of a property. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.